City are front runners for Messi. Chelsea continue spending spree. Henderson signs a United contract to transfer roundup, and today's Thursday favourites all coming up in the next few minutes. As I'm your host Matt Folick, you are the Onefootballers, and this is the Daily News. So first up, and of course we're talking about Lionel Messi. It's one of the biggest transfers ever. And yes, Manchester City are front runners. It seems that yesterday Manchester United, Juventus, Liverpool and a few others said they categorically, Bayern Munich as well, would not be going after Lionel Messi. This left him with only a few options, and it really looks like Manchester City is his destination. They've got the money to go ahead and bring him into the club. Even if there isn't a transfer fee, apparently they're going to have to match his €90 million per year wages. That is utterly insane. Along with this, apparently Messi's dad is speaking to people from Manchester City, and they may even fly over to Barcelona next week to try and conclude the deal. The thing is, Messi said yesterday that he would not be going to training when Barcelona return for pre-season. It's now thought that he will, because he doesn't want to anger the club any further. We mentioned yesterday how lawyers are going to get involved because there's loads of different clauses that were or weren't activated in time and all sorts of other technical mumbo jumbo that I don't quite understand. So the best thing for Messi to do would be to go to training, not completely ruin the atmosphere in the club, show some face and maybe negotiate his exit the way that a legend deserves to go. For the moment though, it does look like Manchester City are the front runners, and we could be seeing Messi in the Premier League next season under Pep Guardiola. Everyone should be worried but a little bit excited at the same time. One team determined to stop though Manchester City and Lionel Messi next season is Chelsea, who aren't content with a pretty good season, a pretty good first season under Frank Lampard. Roman Abramovich has completely and utterly opened his checkbook and said to Lampard, just basically play FIFA career mode. Ben Chilwell is the latest player to join Stamford Bridge for around £45 million, and it represents for me a good deal. Not a great deal, not a fantastic out of this world deal, but a good one. He's young, he's 23 years old, English, which means he fills the domestic quota. He's a good player with Premier League experience, 5 years of Premier League experience, a full English international, and you'd like to think that on a bigger stage in the Champions League under Lampard with better players around him, he's only going to get better. I've seen lots of people online absolutely slating him, saying, overpriced, overrated English rubbish. That's a bit too extreme. Like, he is still a good left back. I mean, as we always mentioned before, if a club like Chelsea, with their scouting system and the players that they've brought in and the way they want to play, if they're willing to spend 45 million on a player, you'd have to assume he's quite a good footballer. I mean, he's not going to be coming in not knowing which foot he is, be absolutely terrible. I think it's a pretty good signing, especially considering they've got an aging Marcus Alonso and Emerson, who looks like he'll be leaving the club. Anyway, it does not stop there for Chelsea, as apparently Thiago Silva will be joining in the next few days after saying on Instagram, bidding a farewell to PSG, and also Malang Sarr, like we mentioned yesterday, could be signing on a free transfer as well. What it does mean though is that Leicester continue their tradition of buying players on the cheap and making a hell of a lot of money. Over £200 million profit is what they've made after selling one big star each summer. They sold N'Golo Kante in 2016, followed by Danny Drinkwater a year after that, to both of them to Chelsea. Riyad Mahrez made the big swap to City a year after that. Harry Maguire obviously went to United last summer, and this summer selling Ben Chilwell, that is a lot of money for Leicester to reinvest. But away from transfers into a new contract signing, and it puts an end to a lot of speculation, and that is surrounding Dean Henderson. The Sheffield United loanee is now back at parent club Manchester United and has signed a bumper new deal. 5 years with the option to extend for a further year, meaning we could see him at United all the way on this contract up until 2026. Apparently he's going to be challenging David De Gea for the number 1 spot next season. Now, not only does that pretty much seal Sergio Romero's future, because he's really too good to be sitting in third position for the goalkeeping spot, it also means that David De Gea's future is a little bit in doubt. Like, after being Manchester United number 1 for like the last, 8 or 9 years since he signed, he's going to find it very difficult to just have competition. Never mind when Henderson proves that he's better and De Gea has to go and sit on the bench. I think we might be seeing him sold in January or next summer because, De Gea wants to be in the Spain squad for Euro 2020. He definitely does not want to be sat on the bench. With Dean Henderson, it'll be a complete and utter waste of talent if United were to sign him up and then just have him sit as number 2 all season, so you would assume that he'd get game time, especially after getting the joint highest clean sheets in the Premier League this season with 13. An unbelievable keeper that the likes of Chelsea and Spurs have also been interested in. United have done well to hold on to him, but now they need to back up their promise and actually give him some minutes. Next up, in a roundup of the rest of the day's transfer news that you might have missed, and Inter Milan are in talks with Barcelona, not over Lautaro Martinez, the potential swap deal, but in talks with Arturo Vidal as he could potentially move to the Serie A club. Spurs are set to sign Wolves defender Matt Doherty for around £20 million. According to reports in Germany, Liverpool will accelerate their bid to sign Bayern Munich midfielder Thiago this week, and Schalke midfielder Weston McKennie, who was linked to the likes of West Ham and Southampton, is close to sealing a move to Juventus. Lastly but not least, we come to this week's Thursday favourites, where you guys asked me 5 of my favourite things in football. This one is less a little bit favourite and 5 of the craziest transfers I've ever seen. This one was sent in by P. Higgy, so let's get straight into it. The first off, the craziest transfer that I've ever seen, well, the 5th craziest, was Figo to Barcelona. Sorry, Figo to Real Madrid. Oh no, what have I done? I've angered a lot of fans here. Basically, he was on his way to winning the Ballon d'Or back in 2000 and then left Barcelona to rivals Real Madrid, intensified the Clásicos, and it was for a world record at the time, 60 million euros. You all remember when he went back to Barcelona and someone threw a pig's head at him while he was taking a corner kick. That was just downright outrageous. Next up, and it's one that I'm still not over and I don't want to talk about it too much, but it's Sol Campbell being an utter Judas and leaving Spurs for Arsenal. He said he was going to stay at the club. He said if he was going to leave Spurs, he would only move abroad. So then, imagine everyone's shock where he turns up in a bloody press conference with Arsene Wenger having signed for Arsenal. Disgraceful, don't want to talk about it, let's move on. 222 million euros, that's the next craziest transfer I've ever seen, and that was Neymar moving from Barcelona to PSG. The thought of anyone just going to PSG for the money, leaving Barcelona, who were brilliant at the time, was utterly ridiculous. And the fact that PSG had a few bids turned down and Barca said, you're going to have to pay the release clause of 222 million, it's kind of like a bit of a joke and they didn't expect them to do it. But bam, PSG got that fat checkbook out, 222 million euros. There you go, Barcelona. Unbelievable. Second on the list, and this is one that you might have to Google if you're not aware who this is, it was Julien Faubert. Now, he was a French midfielder who at one time was supposedly the next Zinedine Zidane and even given the number 10 shirt in the French national team for his one and only appearance. He was playing for West Ham back in 2009 and in the January, after not so much game time with West Ham, somehow moved on loan to Real Madrid. He became a Galactico after not really playing so much in East London with a bang average West Ham side. It was unbelievable, so much so that he only got 2 appearances for Real Madrid, fell asleep on the bench and even missed training. Honestly, when you look at the transfer and then what went on to happen and the fact that obviously they didn't sign him on a permanent basis, it is quite definitely one of the most shocking transfers I've ever seen. And last but not least, number 1, it hasn't happened yet, but yeah, this Lionel Messi thing. Messi leaving Barcelona is the most shocking transfer of all time. Is that right? Yeah, that is right. I'm sticking to my word. The most shocking transfer of all time. Even if he goes to Man City or wherever he goes, just the fact he's leaving just seems utterly incomprehensible. Anyway, those are my 5 craziest transfers of all time. You guys let me know yours in the comment section down below. Whilst you're at it, you can let me know your thoughts on the rest of today's daily news as well. Whilst you're there, smash the like button and click here or here to check out all of the other videos we've got going on OneFootball. But until next time, I will see you guys later.